I'm going to tell you something that it took me 40 years to learn. And I'm going to share it with you, and it's only going to take me 10 minutes to let you know what it is. So stay tuned. Have you guys ever thought about what a budget is? How do you look at a budget? Is it something that has a negative connotation to it? Or is it something that makes you feel free? Well, I'm going to tell you something that I realized. A budget is a wonderful thing. Tracking everything that you spend is a wonderful thing. Why do you think they have accountants? Why do you think, budgeting is something people with large sums of money do. And just because you don't have a lot of money doesn't mean you shouldn't budget. And when I was younger, I never thought about budgeting. It was like money comes, money goes. And that was not a very good way to look at saving or living. So the first thing you want to do is start keeping track of every penny that you spend. And when you do that, you'd be surprised at what you're wasting your money on. I knew someone who played the lottery. They would spend $80 a day on lottery tickets every day. Every day. They go to play lotteries twice a day. $80 a day. And I told this person, I said, if you would take that $80 and save it, you'd have almost $30,000 a year saved up. So you think about that. If you took $80 a day, 365 days out of the year, and put that money away, you would have almost $30,000 in that year. It would be $29,200 exactly. So while you're wishing and hoping to hit the lottery, you could actually save that kind of money throughout the year. You could even play the lottery and spend your $80 a day and also put away $80 a day. And at the end of the year, how much money did you win in the lottery and how much money did you save with your $80? People don't look at it like that. They rather take their money and gamble. They rather take their money and spend it on things that just there's no need for. Money whispers. It slips away $1 at a time. Because if you're not managing your money, it's slipping right out of your hands. So here's a challenge. Here's a challenge. For 30 days, write down everything you spend your money on. You will be shocked. Like I say, you'll be shocked at the end of those 30 days to realize what you're wasting your money on. And a lot of times it's just nonsense. Nonsense. The second thing you should do is create a real life budget. And when I say a real life budget, I mean keep track of the money that you have coming in. Do you have multiple streams of income or do you just have one income stream? Whatever it is, you put that down as how much money you bring in every month. But then write down everything that you spend money on throughout the month. And a lot of times what happens, you can write that down on paper and it looks perfect. But in the real world, in the real life budget, you have to put down gifts. You have to put down eating out. You have to put down buying gas for your car, fun things that you may do. You have to put down pet expenses if you have a pet. So be real about what you're doing, because a lot of times we write down a budget, but we don't put the actual things that we really do on that list. you know, buying a concert ticket or something. You got to put that down on your budget. I learned that the hard way. And that's why I was wondering, why am I running out of money if I'm budgeting, if I'm writing everything down, because I was missing certain things. That's why outfits. You might get your nails done, your hair done. You might get a massage. Put those down on your sheet. A lot of people don't put those down, and then at the end of the month, they wonder why they're short, because they haven't put everything on that list. You have to put everything. See, I didn't understand that. I thought it was budget, income, expense. Expense is everything. You got to put everything on there. Enjoyment does not mean punishment. If you want to enjoy something, make sure you write it down so that you can realize how much money you're spending on the things that you enjoy. Buy things of value. Don't look at everything as, you know, I'm going to buy this because it's cheap, because sometimes you'll purchase something that's cheap and then it's you know, it's no good after a couple of years. If you buy good value items, they last longer, and that way you're not repeating a cycle of buying cheap items. That's with clothing, furniture, cars, and that helps a lot when you're doing a budget. Another thing is to declutter your finances as well as your home. Get rid of items that you don't use, that you don't wear anymore. Cancel unused subscriptions. Cancel things that you don't use anymore. You know, sometimes we get magazines coming, we don't even read them anymore. Cancel those. Cancel subscriptions on your television that you don't really watch anymore, that Netflix. And then there's the overnight rule. When you're going to make a big purchase, make sure you sleep on it. You've heard people say that all the time. Let me sleep on it. And a lot of times when you sleep on those big purchases before you make that purchase, you'll realize you don't even need it. Or you'll realize you could go with something, you know, you could downsize from what the big thing is that you're going to get. Say you want to buy a big Christmas tree. We'll say a big Christmas tree. And then you realize, where am I going to put that big Christmas tree? So you downsize a little bit and get you a smaller tree. Same effect. As you guys can see, when you budget, and then the thing about where are you going to keep your little budget book? I'll show you mine. This is my budget book. I put all my bills in here. And it's 12 pockets in here, so I can put in for every month my bills. And every month I go through, I write everything down that I spend. And I wish I had done this sooner. I really wish I had done this sooner. And you can even use just a regular old notebook. You know, it doesn't matter what it looks like, just as long as you're putting that information in there that you need to keep up with what you have coming in and what you have going out. If I had known this when I was younger, I'd probably be a millionaire today. But when I was younger, I never thought about a budget. And I don't know why. If I had wrote things down, I would have done better. I would have done a lot better. And I'm teaching my son, you know, to do that. And I think it's starting to kick in on him where he's learning what a budget is. And a lot of people, like I say, when they hear the word budget, they think, oh, no, what am I going to lose being on this budget? You're not going to lose anything. You're going to gain something. You're going to gain freedom. You're going to gain money. You're going to gain a lifestyle that you can live and not feel like you can't do anything. That's the thing. When people say budget, they feel like they're losing something. You're not losing anything. You are actually gaining financial freedom. Because if you know what you have coming in and you know what you have going out, how much you can save, how much you can spend, it stops the headaches. It stops the panicking. And If you can do that, it's a wonderful thing. So that's it. Everything I told you in these 10 minutes has been something I've learned over the past 40 years. If I had learned this sooner, things would have definitely been different in my future. But as they say, you live and you learn. Sometimes you learn a little later in life than you wanted or should have. So I hope you guys found this information something that you can use, something that you can share with others, and hopefully it'll make your life a little easier, because it sure has made my life a lot easier doing a budget. So you guys take care. I love you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.